Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. This is my review for Dynasty Season 3 Episode 19, otherwise titled Robin Hood Rescues. So we start off this episode in Moldovia finally, after they've been teasing it for the past few episodes. This is where Anders and Blake have been kidnapped, as we found out last episode, and they're in a castle that looks so campy, but it's what I expect from the show at this point. They've really embraced that they're a campy soap opera, like the original version, which apparently had Fallon get kidnapped by aliens or something. But yeah, they've embraced their campiness, and it feels more like a telenovela now, which I like for the show. The whole kidnapping storyline reminded me a lot of when Fallon got kidnapped by Iris and Sammy's dad back in Season 1. I felt like Adam was taking on Cristalia's role from that episode, with how he didn't want to tell anyone, and meanwhile Cristal was being the Blake in this situation, although they alluded that Fallon would have reacted the same way that Blake did back then if they told her, by calling the whole police force to go save them. Now, while the Moldovan conflict was going on, we also dealt with Fallon and Alexis being sued as the subplot. I really enjoyed the story because it allowed Fallon and Alexis to bond, and it really gave more humanity to Alexis with how she just wanted to be respected. I've really been liking what they've been doing with Alexis. She was introduced as the villain, and it seems like they have something bigger planned for her to do at the end of the season, which they probably didn't have the chance to film anymore. But they've really allowed her to grow and feel human. My problem with Nicolette's Alexis was that she was way too over the top and she was way too trashy. They always had her loose and she was honestly pathetic. Which is ironic because my problem with Daniela's Cristal is that she's not over the top at all. She has no personality. But overall, I like what the storyline gave us in terms of character growth for Fallon and Alexis. But I could care less about Evan coming back. I knew they were probably saving him to be the end of season plot. But with all the hints at Moldovia and what's happened recently, I was hoping that that would be the main conflict and Laura would be the villain. But Evan came back and it looks like he's trying to be a hero. I'm still confused about him and I thought he hated Fallon, but it feels like he's in love with her now, so I don't know. But I thought the whole thing with the woman faking her injury was obvious. It looked like she leaned in so Alexis would kick her when they were in her apartment. Anyway, I hope that Evan's storyline gets wrapped up soon. The other story we had going on was with Dominique, Vanessa, and Culhane getting another season for their reality show. Honestly, I was really disappointed with the result. I'm tired of them making Dominique look dumb, and just like Nicolette's Alexis, I hate how they make her so pathetic and trashy. I just hope that now that the reality TV show storyline is over, Vanessa can leave the show because she's added nothing to the show and she's just annoying. Also, I forgot that Culhane and Kirby used to be a thing, and I forgot they even knew each other. I was surprised when they were working together. Finally, back to Moldova, Danny Trejo appeared. I really like how they used him to help Sam feel better about himself, because I didn't like how they were acting like Sam grew up all entitled like them and privileged, because did they forget that he used to be poor and he tried to rob their mansion in season 1? But anyway, I like the scene where they all work together to beat up the guard and escape the prison, but of course Blake wanted to leave Adam behind. I think this episode really showed how awful Thomas Carrington's children are and how far they're willing to go for money, with Dominique screwing over Vanessa and Blake willing to leave Adam in a prison in Moldova and later only trying to win him over to improve business. After the scene with Blake and Adam at the end, I was expecting to see Adam planning something with Alexis, but instead we got him with Kirby. But the interesting thing about this was that she was encouraging him to go back to being a psychopath, like when we were first introduced to him, which I'm both excited for and worried about. But we also have to remember that Kirby was also introduced as a bad person, and while it might have been a lie that she burned down Fallon's room, Steven still had plenty of stories about how insane she was. Finally, we got Cristal leaving Blake. First of all, I really liked Daniela's outfits this episode. They reminded me of Nat and Ana Brenda's Cristal, and I've hated the story of her and the priest, but I'm glad to finally see her standing up to Blake, although she's been a bit of a hypocrite because she's complaining about how she thinks he's cheating on her when she's the one sleeping with a priest. I've also enjoyed how they brought back more of her vulnerable side, because that was part of Ana Brenda's Cristal along with her sassiness, which has been missing for Daniela's Cristal. But anyway, now that she's left Blake, I hope they end the storyline with the priest, and I hope she doesn't become irrelevant like Sammy. I think they could bring back her family. I liked that plot last season and then they just got rid of it. Overall, I really loved this episode, although it might not sound like it, and I loved how much screen time we got with all the guys together and getting to see Sammy interact with them instead of being stuck at La Mirage all the time. And I loved the bonding moments with Alexis and Fallon. I think this was one of the better episodes of the season, and honestly, it could have worked as a finale under the current conditions. It even had a special guest appearance from Danny Trejo. I think I will give this episode an 8 out of 10. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments, and goodbye. Thank you.